Hello, my name is Eric. I'm part of the Exeter iGEM team 2022, and today I'm going to show you how to make a moving background image that basically has two PNGs that overlap, looking like one banner image in the middle of your website. Once you click on that, it's going to expand and basically go out of the page and basically show your title in a banner in the middle. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this is because I couldn't find any other videos on this, and so I thought, why not give a video on it? So what I'm using is two different PNGs. I've got a cog and I've got an E. coli. Okay. When they overlap, they look like a cog and E. coli, like the iGEM logo. Okay. So what you start with is I've got the basic HTML code here. I've got the doc type, the HTML, the head, and the body. But what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a title. So the title we're going to use is moving. Let's call it moving iGEM. Then we're going to add a link. So the link is going to be a link to the style sheet. So we're going to have link rel style sheet. Then after that, we're going to have a type, and the type is going to be text/CSS. After that, we're going to have href. Href is going to be the style.css. That style.css link basically links to the style sheet, which is this one right here. Now in the body, we're going to add a div for a background. So the div we're going to basically ID as hex background, because I've got these hexagon backgrounds that I'm going to be using later. Okay, so now in your label, we're going to add an input. The input type is going to be checkbox. Now you see a checkbox on top left of the white screen, and that's what we're going to be linking the images to. So whenever you click it, it does a checkbox function. Okay, so now we're going to make a div. This div is going to be called toggle. Okay, now after that, we're going to show this div with h2, just a heading, and we're going to class this as click me. Perfect, and we're going to call it click me. There we go. So we got click me. So whenever you click that, it clicks the button. Perfect, that's all we want. Yeah. So now after that, we're going to add a span, and the span we're just basically going to class as click. Now we're going to go into the interesting part, which is adding images. So we're going to call the first one slide 1. We're going to ID it as slide 1 as well. Then we're going to add the image in between the second divs. We're going to give it a class of cog, give it a source. For the source, we've got the source ready on this bit. There we go. We're going to add that in there. Perfect. And then for now, we're going to call it the ID of cog. What we're also going to add is next to the cog class here, we're going to add a common. Now it will basically be common to the other common, which is going to be E. coli. So I'm going to copy paste this. And we're going to call this slide 2. Get rid of the ID because you don't need it anymore. We've got that first ID. And we're going to call this E. coli common. We're going to call this E. coli here. We're going to make a link to this right here. Perfect. Now we've basically finished the index page. So now all we've got to do is the style sheets. It's that easy. So here we've got the images. Perfect. Just make sure you got your images on there. If not, reread what I've written here. So now we're going to start on a style sheet. I've already put in the font, so I'm using Poppins from sans serif, and I've already put the margins in, which is why everything's very far to the left and right. So we're going to use the body, and the body we're going to be using is we're going to have an overflow of X hidden. So now the scroll bar on the bottom is gone. We're also going to have a background color 60B0DA. Yeah, that's the one. Now another one we want is we're going to add the hex background. So now we're actually going to add the image for the background. So now we're going to add the URL. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to add the cog function. So we're going to add .cog, and now we're going to size it so it's in the middle. You want the width to be 1920 and the height to be 1080. Just like the original size. So whatever original size you had, make it the same. I'm going to make the Z index 10. That should make it so that it's on top of the background. And then we're going to have a margin. So this margin, you might have to mess around with, depending on where you want it on your screen or how you want to move it. There we go. So now it's in the middle of the screen. And whenever we move the screen, it's still in the middle. So as you can see, relating to the E. coli is moving with the screen. The cog is staying in the middle where we want it. And that's because we have the margins, okay? So now what we can basically do is copy and paste this for the E. coli. Perfect. So now they both move and they have the center of the screen stuck on them. And they're on top of the background because we have a Z index of 10 and the background has a Z index of nothing. Okay. So now we're going to add the slide. So we're going to add dot slide. Since we named it dot slide 1 earlier, we're going to keep it that way. And we're going to basically make a block. Okay. So we're going to make a display block. Position, we want fixed as well. So everything you want to have the same display and block if you're making it in animation, okay? And here you can add the background color, whatever color you want. We're gonna do stick symbol with white. So now the background here is white. For example, put this here. You can see that the white goes, it's aligned with the image. So then when the image moves, it can nicely move across the line, okay? And we're gonna give it a nice glow effect. So we're gonna add a box shadow. So now the glow is kind of darker, but I like a more shiny glow. So we're gonna do RGB. There, so now we've got a white glow. So that's already looking a tiny bit better. Okay. Now what we want to do is we're going to add an input. So the checkbox is still here, yeah? So once you click the cog and E. coli, it clicks the checkbox. But we don't need the checkbox anymore. So we're going to basically get rid of it. There we go. So now the toggle function. Now we're going to make the toggle common. And after that, we should have the animations. So the common, remember we added it earlier. This will affect both the E. coli and the cog. So they're both going to have the same transition rate of 2 seconds with ease. So they move with ease in 2 seconds, yeah? And the clicking is going to have margin because we want it more in the center of the box. There we go, now it's in the center, but it's a bit too dark for me, so we're going to change the color. I'm going to make it white. There we go. Perfect. So now the click me is white, and it still is it. You can click this entire thing. Okay. So look at that. We're changing your website. Okay. So now we're going to put an input checked. This is the funnest part, in my opinion, because you can start seeing the animations and stuff. So we're going to make a dot toggle dot E. coli. So this will affect the E. coli. Now with this, you can basically copy and paste E. coli, and we're just going to edit bits. Okay, so now we've got this copy and pasted. We basically need to add a transform. This basically makes it move. We translate it in the x-axis by -1000. So now you see it moves. Perfect. Now all we gotta do is do the same for the cog. Oh, wrong way. Sorry. So don't make it a minus. Make it. There we go. And that should be your animation. You can do it wherever you want. The click me button works, and you can spam it. So there we go. Now you've got a moving cog and a moving E. coli. You can have this on your homepage. You can put your title here in the middle where it glows so it can stand out way more. You can adjust the colors. You can make it more compatible. You can add your menu above or below or on the left. You might have to move your click me button a bit lower. But that's the easiest way I found of doing it. So there you go. Enjoy. Bye-bye. Oh, hello there. If you have any comments or questions about today's video, or about anything else we're doing in our project, don't hesitate and comment them below. If you also want to message us on Instagram or Twitter about anything that our project is doing, they should be here on the right side. If they're not, I kind of look like a right mug, and then right there should be the email, just over there. But yeah, that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.